Hello everybody, in this tutorial we're going to make a door and it works like this. And it's made in Houdini. It's going to be procedural modeling. And what's really nice about this is, let's say, you see there is 6 pieces in this door. And in Houdini, I made a setup. So let's say you can have down to 2 pieces or 3, 4. So let's say we like 4 pieces and there's more parameters you could add on. But that's good enough. And you see we have it working like this. So if we save this FBX file and we go back to Unity, it just update and it works again. Now we have 4 pieces instead. So this is what I mean by procedural modeling. And yeah, so we could have, let's say, we want 2 pieces, save it. And it works. Isn't it nice? And the script we're gonna take care of in the last tutorial. So it's C# in Unity, but I guess the logic could be transferred easily to Godot engine or Unreal. So this is what we're gonna do. So let's get started. And first off, we're gonna go into an empty scene. And I have it prepared here. No, here. So we're going to be in Houdini, the first tutorials. And if you want the files, you can just find them in Patreon site. There you have all the scripts and files and you can just dive into it. And here you see a file. I already saved the Houdini file next to the level scene file. I have it here. And we're first going to make a geometry node and dive into that one. And the first thing we're going to do is to set up so we understand all the rotation and that kind of stuff. So we're going to go through this tutorial first. And if you make, we need some kind of gizmo for it. So first, I'm just going to make this gizmo. And I recommend you do it because it's very good for the visualization of what we are going to do. So what you see here is this is going to represent an arrow. We could do a better one, but I just want to put the time on what we're going to do. So you see I-axis. I'm going to have it as Z because we're going to have it in the forward direction, as you see here, the gizmo in Houdini. So you see this is the forward down there, you can see it. And yeah, we're going to, so if we take the Z direction and move it forward. So now we see it's on the center like this. And then we're just going to make a transform and make the other axis too. So we have it like this. So this one is going to be the blue one. Then we're going to have it's going to be the green one. And this is going to be the red one. So this is red. And going here, this is the green one. So it's going to be like this. And then we just merge them. And so the green one, we need to have that one to be standing up. So -90 rotation here. And the red one, so look in the down corner here. Then you can see, let's see, the red one needs to go to the left in this direction or angle of view. So is it like this? Yeah, it is. So we're going to have that 90 degrees. So here now we can kind of use this as, instead of having the door pieces, instead of using the door pieces for now, I'm just going to use this one in the beginning to make so it's easier for us to navigate and such. So this is our gizmo. We can do it like this, gizmo. And then we're going to have a circle. And by default, the circle is standing up. But for us, it's easier if we have it on the ZX plane like this. So it's kind of lying on the floor. And the reason is because when we're going to do the transform and stuff, it's easier to have it more less altered or less kind of messed around with. And you will understand in a bit. So I told you that I only have a setup for 2 to 6 pieces and segments. And this is actually going to control how many segments we have on the door. So I'm going to just change this one for, well, actually we could just do a wrangler. That's what I'm thinking about. If we just do a wrangler, and we make sure you do the detail one, and then we do int. It's going to be segments, and we're going to have this like this. Or is it, I need to think a little bit here. Yeah, this is how we're going to do it. So this is going to be the controller. And I tend to do this one green like this, because now I know this is the controller. And here we made a channel or kind of parameter. So we expose it, and here we have it. So it's 0 to 10. On the cogwheel here, on the edit parameter interface, we can just change this one to be from 2 to 6 and accept. So now we have it from 2 to 6, so that's good. So now we have the amount of segments I want it to be. And if we copy this parameter here, and on the circle here, the divisions, we just paste the relative reference. So now we always have the same as up here. So that's perfect. So now we do 6 segments, and so we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna use for each point, because we're gonna go through each point on this circle, and we're gonna do stuff. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna copy to point. And what we're gonna copy to point, that's this gizmo. And this looks a little bit funky because it's gonna be like this. So now you see that we have actually copied this transform to each corner, and that's we're gonna have the door rotating. The segments here are gonna be kind of using this transform to open up. And the reason I'm using the gizmo and stuff, it's going to be more obvious later instead of using the door pieces right away. But the thing is, we need to each, if I do like this, transform, and now we are compensate the scale difference in Houdini and Unity. And then we just do FBX, this one here. This one gonna be the, let's see, we call it, this is what we're gonna call it. And you can call it whatever you want. And if we save now and go back to Unity. Oh, why is it, I was expecting the, maybe that's the reason. So save disk. Okay. So we're going to remove this folder. I don't need that one. And now we have them here, and we can actually just put vertex color on them because it's vertex color on. And if we do like this, we see them like this. And we need to rotate them so they kind of open up, right? But you see here, if you look on this one, there is only one thing to rotate like this. And we're going to have it on the pivot. So when we rotate it, we can't rotate each door segment by itself. So we can actually just, so here we have, now that's the door, but we want iris, or let's see, is it this one? Yeah. So Here you see we have 2 segments in this case, but we have 6. So we want to be able to rotate each of these ones by itself. And in order to do that, we need to here pack and instance. So what happens now is that we are, if we look here, now we see we have 6 points because we actually packed this one into prim, pack and instance. So we have now 6 prims here, and each prim here contains the gizmo. And then when we unpack it, we get all the FBX will sort it out and unpack it, so we can have this structure, so we can have each piece as a child. So if we save this one now, it won't work because we need to set a name. And you can go fancy about this, and I'm just going to do it really simple, but I would do better naming than I'm going to do. So if we do string number and itua or I, whatever, it's an integer to an string. So what we can do, if we use the prim num like this, now we have the prim number here, 0 to 6, as a string. And then we can just do at name is equal to number. And now you see if we have this name here with number, and we could actually just do it like this. So if we segment underscore like this. Now you see segment 0, 1 to 5. So now if we just make sure here, you take this one and do name. Now we fetch the name attribute. So the name attribute here, we can do it like a child structure in the FBX file. So if we save it, and now if we go back here to Unity, now if we open it up, you see we have each segment for itself. But if we rotate it, you see it's kind of, the pivot is somewhere in the center. And what's important here, we want to be sure that it's very important to control where the pivot is. So in Houdini, we are gonna here make sure that we are not, the pivot location is not centroid, but origin. And the origin is all these, let's see, yeah, it's gonna be at the center of this gizmo. So now when we check here, we do this one. We do like this. This is better than this one. Now you see the pivot is on the points on the circle. So if you look now, the pivot is here, and when we rotate, it kind of rotate from the center, not really as we wanted. I'm gonna just add the color one more time here. Let's see. But if we now, and we can just remove the player for now. And if we now just save this one, when we change this origin, centroid to origin, we just save it. Now we have it where we want it. So now we can kind of control the doors at the pivot location much better. And that's very crucial for us. So what's important for us now is that we need all the doors to be rotated. So their transform value is set to 0 in this state like this. And that's what we're going to do in the next tutorial. So we want it to be like this, because then when we open, now you see we have different values on this y-axis here. All of them have different. And what we want it, all of these ones to be 0. So whenever we open them like 30 degrees, they are open in the manner that you saw in the beginning. But we're going to continue working on this in the next tutorial. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next tutorial.